Guys, it's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to cover today and tomorrow's plays. Today was pretty hectic, so typically what I'll do is I'll do a couple different videos, but what I'm going to do is, obviously for here on the Patreon, I'm going to go over how we did today, go into tomorrow's games, only take a few minutes, and then also, if you want to, stay, I'm going to go into the playoff simulator and just who I think is going to come back and kind of what I see happening there. So I'll be covering both. Like I said, I'm going to run through the picks first. That way, anyone that's just tailing here on the Patreon will be able to get in and out if you just want to watch the picks. But like I said, I'm going to go into NBA as well just because I think we have a pretty good read. So anyway, right now, and I'll change this one if it winds up being wrong. I don't think this one's going over. The Mariners Rangers over 9.5. They're at, I think, 5-1 is the score in the seventh inning. Anything can happen. Just doesn't seem like an over type of game. If it winds up going over, then I'll correct this. So anyway, right off the bat, we got the Red Sox beating the Angels. Oh yeah, yesterday. Yesterday we finished -3 on the day, and we got +4 on Monday. So we're still +1 on the week, which is fine. Obviously doing well. And we had a good day today, which is always good, which I'm going to go into. But yeah, yesterday was a -3 officially finished. And Dallas came through at the end for us, so we did better than we started. And then we wound up finishing, like I said, -3. Monday was +1, +4. So we're +1 on the week. So I got Red Sox beating Guardians. They did. They beat them 8-0. So up 2 units. We just keep chasing the Yankees A's over. We did it as a leg 1 for 1 unit. Didn't happen. Leg 2 for 2 units. And then it came through as a leg 3 for 4 units. Meaning of those 3 plays, we profited a unit. Whole point of the system. But for today, we profited 4 units. So 4 plus 2 up 6 units. Again, if this winds up being wrong, then that's great. But I just don't think that's going to be the case. Looks like it's definitely going under. So that one I marked as a loss. Again, I'll correct it if they find a way to go over. I don't see it happening. The team that's leading is in the bottom of the inning, so you're looking at about an inning for these teams to put up like 5 runs. So anyway, that knocks us back down to 4 units. We missed the Astros cover. They didn't cover. They lost by a run. So down 2 units. Well, we're up 2 units, -2. And then we're up 1 unit because the Astros Cubs did not go over. -1 unit because the Heat Celtics did not go under. And here's where we did well. We're up 6.5 units now because we picked up 7.5 from the Heat. Just I thought the first 2 games, it made sense the Heat had to take one of them. So I really felt strong about both, game 1 and game 2. And obviously a split would have been just fine, and that's what we got. And speaking of split, that's why I took the Heat and the Pelicans. I really thought between the 2 of them, one of them was going to win. And that's kind of what the system is. It's just playing high, good value matches that make sense. So 6.5 units. This is the only one that's in play. Not looking great right now, but it's a crazy game in the West, so anything can happen. And then Van de Zandschulp covered Eubanks 3.5 games. Again, I just fade the guys that are better players, higher ranked, etc. When you get these games where Van de Zandschulp is a pretty heavy favorite, looked like a trap, so we wound up getting it. So as it stands, we're up 10.5 units on the day right now, and only 1 unit in play, which is great. Meaning the worst we can finish is 9.5 units. But yeah, 10.5, so we're up 11.5 right now, and 139. Just over 139 since starting. And we started this in this December 4th. So once May 4th comes up, we're going to be 5 months in. And again, for us to have been on steadily increasing every single week, in my opinion, is just a testament to the system. It's the reason I spend so much time on it. And again, I do feel good because I feel like it's reciprocal. A lot of people, came over to the Patreon, showed a lot of love, especially with YouTube giving us so much nonsense, since we've started, basically. And I don't think anybody else can claim This might sound like cockiness, but I don't think anybody else can claim if you followed my exact picks, from this period to this period. Obviously, it's long term, so if you jump in for a week, I can't guarantee how you're going to do. But if you're following for a long enough period, even I'd say 2 weeks or longer, if you're following the system, you're doing well. I don't think any other channel, any other membership out there could guarantee 5 months in, if you literally just followed my picks, my unit amounts, which I post ahead of time every single night, and the reasons, you'll definitely be up. I feel like people would call that too good to be true, and we've proven it time and time again. So really good day, double-digit unit profit day, if we're able to get the Pelicans. If not, I'll take 9.5. But as it stands right now, we're up 10.5 units, which is really good. Tennis, once again, always seems to come through when there's a game we really believe in. There are certain players I feel like I know when to take, when to fade, and we do really good with them. So anyway, up 139.05, and let's go into tomorrow's plays. Astros cover Cubs, same deal as the Yankees. A's over, chased it. We're not going to keep chasing it, but it's a 3-game chase. Astros, I got them covering 1.5 runs. You're looking at about plus 135 there. That will be a leg 3 for 4 units for today's leg 2 loss. For the over, that was a leg 1 today, so we're going to play over 8.5, leg 2 for 2 units. Mariners Rangers, we just missed that one. Well, I think we're going to miss that one. So again, the Mariners Rangers is the only one that if for whatever reason they find a way to go over tonight, which I just don't think they will. Well, let's just say, bottom of the ninth, the Rangers decide to tack on 5 runs, or something crazy happens, and they go over 8.5. Then we won't be playing this tomorrow. We don't play it at all, because obviously once we hit the metric, we're not going to keep chasing it. But if, like I think, it doesn't go over today, then it will be a leg 3 for 4 units tomorrow. So I mean, you could double play it, but I'm not. That's not how the system works. Once you get one, like the Yankees A's, that's it. We move on. So Rangers Mariners, if they somehow find a way to go over 9.5 today, we don't play this one tomorrow. But I think we're gonna be wind up playing it. We got the Magic Cavs. This is 3 times now. We're 2-0 so far. I had the under 205.5, I think it was, and they went way under. Then it was set at 202.5 for game 2. We took the under, got it, and now they're lowering it even more. And maybe now people might start taking the under, but I don't know. I still think most people watching today's game are going to see a modern game under 200 points. And we predicted this. I said it's like they're trying to recreate the 90s. I said it specifically with the Knicks, but if you watched the Knicks Sixers game the other day, they actually said it. So months ago I said it with the Knicks because of the way Mitch Robinson plays, because of the way Hart plays, a lot of their guys, and their coach Tom Thibodeau. I said, it seems like they're going to try and bring back this 90s bully ball physicality. And sure enough, when Embiid and Mitch Robinson were wrestling for the basketball in game 2, one of the announcers said, "Oh man, this is giving me 90s vibes." And you see a lot of series where we're getting under 100 points. We just got it with the Clippers Mavs. So I think it's going to be a trend. So I like the Magic Cavs under 198.5 for 1 unit. Like the Sixers to cover. I think they'll win for sure. Of course, the cover's not guaranteed. They've had some close games. That being said, Knicks plus 4.5 looks pretty enticing for, I think, the casual better. So, or even the professional better. So I like the Sixers to cover the 4.5. That's going to be a leg 3 for 4 units. Got the Nuggets winning. Thought about taking the Lakers, because I feel like a lot of people think they're getting swept, so you might have some more money on the Nuggets. But I think they maybe go down 3-0, then maybe get a win or two, make a little bit of a run, but then they get stopped short. I think that makes a little more sense than the 2-1 and then dropping the 3-1 most likely, or even tying it up. I don't think they're going to tie it up. I think the Nuggets are going to look pretty formidable. Again, the Lakers got their Intercontinental Championship. That's about all they're going to get, in my opinion. So, yeah, got the Nuggets winning tomorrow. And then I got Navone, this guy I've never heard of, beating Holger Rune. This is not tomorrow. but it will be Friday at 5 a.m. So as I said before, since it's international, it's Madrid, I like to give notice because if I put it out tomorrow, you're gonna have like if you fall asleep, around this time, by the time you wake up, the game's gonna be over. So match, I should say. So yeah, this isn't going to be for tomorrow, but for Friday at 5 a.m. I do have a Navone beating Holger Rune plus 230 for 1 unit. So yeah, doing good this week, which is nice. Again, we had 12 out of 13 profitable weeks. We had 2 negative weeks in a row, and one of them was only minus 1.8. So really, the one negative week where we had about minus 10. And right afterwards, bounced back. We did plus 5 last week. This week's looking pretty darn good. Strong day tomorrow will probably solidify another positive week. And we're just climbing. Baseball's really coming through for us as of late. Of course, getting Miami helped. There was a plus 750. So that's 7.5 units. To put in perspective, as you see, I do leg 1 if that loses leg 2, if that loses leg 3. That's 7 units that we lose if we lose leg 1, leg 2, leg 3. And that is nullified by this Heat win. So this Heat win was huge. So again, I think we might catch another couple like this in the playoffs. Not just the Heat, but other teams. So anyway, I wanted to go into this because this is just what I think is going to happen. So I'm just going to click Pelicans because technically I picked them going into tonight. So even though they're losing, Thunder, good chance they go up 2-0. I'm just going to do this so we can fill it out. So anyway, someone asked me to do this. Well, a few people have. And again, I'll say not much has changed. Like, when I did the play-in, I had the Hawks getting in instead of the Bulls, but then they got immediately booted anyway. I had the Warriors getting in instead of the Pels, so they matched up with a different team. But by the first round, all the teams I liked were moving on. So, but anyway, I want to go into the updated seedings. So this one, as I went into in my last video, it only makes sense for the Thunder to move on. So I think it'll be pretty competitive, but nothing crazy. I think we'll get something like this. A 6-game Thunder win. That's a lot of away teams, isn't it? Let's move it to this. That sounds a little better. Something like this. Thunder win in 6. And you'll see why they need a win. I went into it in my last playoff video. This one I went into multiple times. I really think that we're going to have a 7-game series here. And I think the Clippers are going to take it. I went into it, again, multiple times before. The numbers for Dallas just don't make sense to me. I'm not buying them. And we had them winning yesterday. I thought they were going to win. So, I mean, it's not that I don't think they're going to push Dallas. They're obviously pushing Luka and Kyrie. I just think they're quietly keeping the Clippers, like, as this team, this X-Factor team. All the talk is about the Suns, Lakers, Mavs. And conveniently, you have the Clippers, the only team besides the Nuggets, getting, sub plus 500. They're getting plus 300, I think, out of the West when they're knotted up with Dallas with an injured Kawhi. It's really interesting. So I feel like not a lot of people are going to be on the Clippers, which is why one of the reasons I like them so much. So we got Minnesota and Phoenix here, and I think Phoenix is going to at least make it a series. And are they going to win? I think they are. I think they're going to wind up stealing it in the night, coming back from 2-0, just because they're too entertaining to knock out now. You already have that boring team, the Nuggets, and of the three-headed monster, as Marco puts it, he explained it very well. Months ago, he said these 3 teams are going to come down to the wire, and they did. They all came down to the last game. I think one of them gets eliminated. So Thunder probably advance, Nuggets advance, and I think the Wolves will be the one who get eliminated. So we got the Nuggets here. I actually got them winning tomorrow as I went into. And then I think the Lakers might do something with it. Maybe like the Celtics did last year. But then I think they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose Game 6. So it might even be a 5-game series. Who knows? Maybe they continue the streak and just sweep them. But I think the Nuggets winning tomorrow would be interesting in LA. But yeah, so I think the Nuggets will wind up advancing. I know a lot of people are telling me the Lakers are. I just don't see it. I've been saying that from the beginning. Boston, Miami. So we got Miami, which was nice. And again, a nice hit. And again, it's going to be a series. Boston might even drop 2-1. And isn't it convenient? Because Boston is not looking too strong, are they? So you're not going to have many people on Boston, and I think that's the exact reason that they make sense here. We'll say that this one gets pushed to 7 games, right? And then people will say, "Oh man, Boston, Miami took Boston to 7 games without Jimmy Butler," which I just think makes perfect sense. As far as the way the Celtics are being booked. Nobody believes in them, yet they have the shortest odds to win the whole thing. They are winning the whole thing. I'm just letting you guys know again. I don't think, if anything, the what I've been seeing, like it's funny with the Niners, they were my preseason pick, but then as the year went on, they were running through everybody, and I still liked them, but of course I was a little worried when I saw that the Celtics are the opposite. They're losing the teams they shouldn't lose to. They're blowing leads. They're known for being like the least clutch team in the league. So I really think that it's the perfect time for them. I feel like my pick is more bolstered now with the way Boston's been looking. People are going to be on the Knicks, probably on the Bucks even, Pacers. I don't think many people are going to be taking the Celtics at plus 150 to win the whole thing, whatever it is, plus 300 to win the whole thing, when minus 150 to win the conference, when they can't beat the Heat without their only good players. So yeah, I like the Celtics even more than I have. Same with the Clippers. So Celtics advance. Cleveland we had advancing. I think Orlando will make it a series. Nothing too crazy though. Let's say 6 games. And yeah, I think Cleveland's going to advance there. And Milwaukee has to advance, right? I went into this a million times. It's for the same reason I'll go into with Philly and the Knicks. We'll put the Pacers up 2-1, 2-2, and then maybe they worry about Doc blowing a 3-2 lead again, right? And he gets it done. Knicks Sixers, this is the best one. You're getting about plus 350 taking the Sixers to win, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And how about every single home team wins until Game 7? The reason the Sixers have to win is we need the Doc versus the Nurse. We just need it. We need some good old basketball malpractice, and the Doc versus the Nurse will be great, and I think that's what we're going to get. So, again, not much has changed. These are like all the matchups I had in my last playoff video, but some of it changed in the first round, stuff like that, different teams. So anyway, Clippers Thunder here, and I think the Thunder look fine. I think it's a close series, something like this, and I think the Clippers wind up taking it. I do. I can see the argument for like the Thunder being the new Lions. You kind of get those vibes from the Knicks too. But again, this is a strong performance for the Thunder, getting out of the first round. Whereas the Clippers, I feel like, have paid more dues. And you could really establish the Thunder as just a powerhouse next year and continue to build. Probably add like a very important player that they need. Maybe they draft somebody. So yeah, I don't think the Thunder are going to pass the Clippers. I think there's too many good stories with the Clippers. Sure, if the Thunder win, see if the Suns would have to win too here. And it could give us some interesting matchups. So now we get Phoenix, Denver, and here's where I give credence to a possible upset. So again, I think this is going at least 6 games, and I think Phoenix gets up on them. I do. Denver's gonna come back, and I think Phoenix finishes them off. And again, a lot of people saying the Lakers are gonna knock out the Nuggets. That doesn't make sense to me. But if the Nuggets have a compelling first round, then they get to the second round, then the Suns get it done. The Suns match up again. If they play the Thunder, then it's KD versus his old team. If they play the Clippers, it's KD versus his old guys. So I think there's way more stories there, and I think it just makes sense that you have the Suns Clippers. It's more fresh. Sure, you could get, Nuggets Clippers or something, but I think we're going to get Suns Clippers. And then on the East end, we got Cleveland, Boston, and again, I think Boston comes out looking kind of weak. Drops down 1-2 or something. And then I think that they wind up getting it done. Maybe go on a little bit of a streak. I know I got a lot of these going 7 games. I don't think they're all going to go 7, but again, I don't know exactly. I wait for the Vegas line each day, because sometimes the Vegas line helps me. So, like, the order might not be perfect, but it's pretty close. And then we got Philly and Milwaukee, and again, we got the Doc versus the Nurse. And I think Doc blowing game one at home makes perfect sense to the Philly, and then gets one back. Maybe gets two in a row. And again, maybe they worry about him blowing a 3-2 lead. I could really see it. It's just something that they love to do with this guy. And then maybe he comes through and proves that he's not a complete joke. And again, now this is going to give us Doc versus his other old team. So back-to-back old teams for Doc. And it's also going to give us Drew Holiday versus his old team. So this has to happen in my opinion. One of the reasons I really like these two teams. And if you just look at the Vegas odds. And then we got all the guys from the old Thunder squad, right? We got Russell Westbrook and Harden versus KD. I think that'll be a really interesting matchup. And again, I think it's going to be close. We'll give Phoenix the first win. We'll give Clippers this one. We'll go Clippers, Phoenix. Clippers, Phoenix, Clippers. I think Clippers finish it off in 7. I just think the Phoenix Suns were just there not too long ago. I just don't think they're going back with Frank Vogel. I think the Clippers get in the new stadium makes the absolute most sense, just in my opinion. So I actually think the winner of Clippers Dallas is going to be the Western team that represents. So if the Dallas Mavericks do knock off the Clippers, then they're my team to represent. But I think it's going to be the Clippers. I just really do. The Vegas lines add up for it, everything. And then we get Milwaukee, Boston, and both teams pretty inconsistent. So this would be a great one for live action. I think we're going to have at least 2 blown leads of 15 points in this series, and probably 3 blown leads of 10 points in this series. I just feel like that's the type of series we're going to get. And maybe this time Doc starts off down. Starts off down 3-2 instead of up, and he has to come back. So we'll give the home teams the wins. Drops 3-2, and then he's got to win in Boston, which would be pretty, in my opinion, full circle moment for Doc Rivers. And my apologies. Hold on. There we go. Losing at home, in his hometown, which will be a pretty full circle moment. He won in 2008 against the Lakers at home. It's 24, the year of Kobe. Jason Tatum's obviously the guy that they want to establish as the new Kobe. So I have every home team winning. I just noticed that. That would be interesting. But anyway, again, I'm not sure if this is exactly how it's going to break, but I just don't think it's going to be the Bucks. Beginning of the year, I went into why the Bucks were going to be a trap. And again, even though they're not looking great, the Celtics are looking really, really bad. I just don't think people are going to be on them. And again, KP, Drew Holiday, those are championship moves that the Celtics did. They got championship players, and I think it's not a coincidence. And then the Bucks get Damian Lillard, and all the public's going to be on them, getting better odds. So I think we got Clippers versus Celtics. And I did think about the prospect, if the Bucks were to win, Doc would be playing all 3 of his former super teams back to back to back, which would be pretty insane. But I don't think they're going to do that. Again, the lines just don't make sense. But it did cross my mind, the possibility of getting the Doc versus all 3 super teams. But I think playing 2 of them will be enough, especially playing the Nurse and then playing his old squad with Boston. So I think we get Clippers Boston. Again, new stadium. Boston has been established. I think it just makes sense. Clippers probably get off maybe to a 1-0 lead. Get Boston this one. Clippers maybe keep the pressure on. I don't know if they'd go up 3-0. That would be pretty interesting. I feel like it's something they might do, but we'll go 2-2, 3-2, and then we'll finish it off like that. I think Boston winds up taking, again, the championship. I just think it makes the most sense. So yeah, I kind of wanted to go into everything. Not much has changed, like I said, because the play-ins that I had, it didn't really matter because I had them bounced by the next round anyway. And all the teams I liked, if you watch my last prediction video where I do the simulator, it's basically the same as this. But I just wanted to go into it again now that we have official playoff matchups. As you can see, some that are down 0-2, like the Suns and Sixers, I got coming back. Just because I'm not going to just say, oh, they're down 2-0, I'm jumping ship. I genuinely believe they're going to come back. And then other ones that are up 2-0, like the Nuggets, I think they're going to hold easy. So it just depends on the matchup. But I think this is some good matchups. And again, the Clippers are one that I think are going to fly under the radar. The Celtics are one that they've done an amazing job of making sure nobody has any faith in. So yeah, let me know what you think. Again, I think we've been on the over the target really well this year, and I think we'll continue to be. And I just wanted to kind of cover everything in this one video because, like I said, I had a lot of stuff to do today. So I thought, okay, I'll do the recap for everyone following on Patreon. I'll post a link there. I know a couple people have been asking. That's where every night I'll post my tennis picks, my baseball picks, all of our basketball picks and exactly who I like, why I like them. Money lines that could be beneficial, like the Heat today. And we do our recap every night. Typically not this long because this time I decided to condense 2 videos into one. So I'll be throwing this on YouTube for people. But yeah, I'll post a link there for people that just want to tail picks. But I know a lot of people wanted to see the simulation, so I wanted to get that out there too. So take care and happy earning.